Hi there, welcome to VisArts. I'm Nan and I teach glass. I've worked in glass a long time. I haven't done a video class before, so I may have to edit this a lot when I get done. But I'm in my studio and talking to myself, which seems a little strange. I'd like to do a demonstration and talk about some of the glass jewelry possibilities here at VisArts. It's a great thing to do if you don't have a lot of glass or have a small kiln at your house. So once I finish introducing myself, I will turn this camera off and then set it up so you can see what I'm talking about. Hi there, I'm back. Now you see my desk, my work surface. In this demonstration, we will go over making a pendant of fused glass. I use COE 90 bullseye glass, but you may use another coefficient of expansion and contraction. I'm not going to get into firing schedules. This is just simply a demonstration of how you might want to put a pendant together. This is a fully fused piece. You can tell all the pieces of color, all the individual pieces which represent each color are fully melted and fused and have become one, so that's kind of delightful. This piece does not have a pendant bail on it. This is the bail. When you make jewelry, you think about the findings. Oops. And this has a nice flat element there that you can glue your finished piece on and hang it. I mean, you could hang it that way, although it would swing like a pendulum, but up to you. Anyway, in this case, you'd start with a base piece. So this is just a clear piece of Tecta. It's 3 millimeters thick, and it's a rectangle shape because that seems pretty nice. Also, I just had it cut already. And in this case, for the piece that will become this, I took a succession of strips. So you can take your pistol grip cutter, unfortunate name, but there you have it, and score the glass, running pliers, and start to create a design. You may want to leave some space in between or press the pieces together. It's all going to melt. You can continue with a pattern, or you can head on over to the many scraps which most people have after working with larger projects. I don't know anyone who doesn't have quite a bit of random small pieces that they can't get rid of, but they don't know what to do with. Jewelry making is a perfect opportunity to use these up. They may or may not fit exactly on your piece, but you can play with that. You can have some fun seeing if you'd like to try another color variation. I'm working with blues here because I like blue and because I happen to have a lot of blue scrap. So once I've put the piece together, you'll notice it's not perfect. I'm looking for something to show you. There's some pieces that are hanging off 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. It's not quite even. When you take it to full fuse, it's all going to melt. So that should be your mantra. Don't obsess about it. Just get going. Cut some pieces that you like and try and cover the base. If you have a piece that extends, of the base that extends and is not covered, what will happen in the firing is this will contract because the firing height of glass is 6 millimeters, or roughly 2 layers of the 3 millimeter glass. So when you add a third element and it's not a full layer, it just will melt flat and spread into the piece. So another thing to think about before you get excited and throw it in the kiln is some of the pieces are going to be opaque and some are transparent. if you can see through it, transparent. Why do you care, other than the loveliness of the glass? If you are going to put a bail on your piece, and you decide to put a transparent piece in that part of your design, you will see the bail. If that doesn't bother you, rock on. If you think you might not want to see the bail, you can adjust your design to have an opaque piece at the top. The bail will not go in the kiln. It will be glued on after your piece comes out. So, oops. Let's put that over there. We'll add this little creature, and that's a very restful blue piece. You could say, I'd like to add a little bit more to that. And you could add more layers. You run the risk of it spreading to be quite large. So if it's the first time playing with glass in a jewelry format, you might want to just work with 2 layers, fire it up, and see what it looks like. You can also elect to have a base that's opaque, which is a lovely option. Say you have a design on transparent glass and you want to layer it over the opaque white. It really pops. The white also is a great background for creating some abstract designs using your transparent pieces. So that's certainly an option. Hard to know where to stop with that one. Here's an example of a white base that is covered with a clear piece that has black glass threads in it and a tiny bit, a shimmer of dichroic glass, which is a lovely glass that is coated with a metallic surface, and it creates a very sparkly design. A little goes a long way with that stuff, but you can pile it on if you want. In the case of this piece, which we have on clear, there's another layer of the clear with black glass threads in it and an iridescent metallic third layer. So let me move this little fellow out of the way. Once it becomes fully fused, you can see, I hope in this light, I'm not really sure, a shimmering effect here, and then the black glass that this metallic is sitting on has spread while the metal hasn't really shifted. You can see here this slightly smaller piece does not extend as far as the base piece, but this is a lovely neutral piece and will look really super on a nice pendant bail. The silver looks good with almost anything. I like a large flat pad on the bail because once you glue the piece on, it's pretty secure. So that's an option. Basically, a lot of jewelry will start with the element that you're going to make that goes in the kiln and get fired. Once you finish, once the piece is fired, depending on the size, you may want to make a pendant. You may decide that you don't want to make a pendant and you want to turn the piece into a brooch. But none of the findings, the elements, are added until after it comes out of the kiln. So you have plenty of time to decide what you really want to do with the piece that you make. We offer a lot of classes at VisArts on jewelry making and have some pretty cool things to make. Yeah, pardon my interruption. As I said, first time, not that I guarantee further ones will be any smoother, but I'll give it my best shot. So I've taught classes on working with image transfer infused glass, which is kind of fun. And you can add add an image. I like to put it under transparent. It creates a finer look, but there are other ways to handle that. Here's a large pendant on a white base, capped with a clear, flaked with black, either stringers or flakes in there, and then there's some dichroic, which adds a certain shimmer effect. This piece, which is kind of fun, simply has black glass and white powder, so it creates a kind of smoky look, and that's a fun class. Here's another piece with an image, a ginkgo leaf on top of a lovely amber, and a tiny bit of dichro there. So pretty much it's up to you what you want to do, what you want to make. You can also, of course, make earrings. I recommend starting with a pendant because it's usually a little more difficult to come up with two that are roughly the same if you haven't cut much glass before. But on the other hand, having asymmetrical earrings, not a bad thing either. So I hope this has been entertaining on some level, and I hope to see you here at VisArts. Thanks.